like, I need help. Help me, help me, help me.
Right.
And at that moment, mentally and emotionally and physically, the only way I was able to cope with that pain,
Yeah.
for anyone out there, if you're going through things, don't give up.
Don't give up.
Don't give up. Push 10 times harder.
Hey, this is Ask Pharmacist Tish. I'm in the beautiful city of Charlotte, North Carolina. A beautiful day. And who do I have the pleasure of meeting?
Destiny.
Nice to meet you, Destiny.
Nice to meet you too.
All right. So you're born and raised in Charlotte?
Yes, my name's Destiny. I was born and raised in Charlotte, North Carolina.
Uh-huh.
I was adopted.
Oh, really? Okay.
As a baby.
As a baby, okay.
My mother and father were drug addicts, and I never really had a one-on-one time with my mom. I never knew my father. I never knew my mom. So my adopted mom was always overseas. She was in the military, Army.
Okay.
And I was, if you want to be real, I was more of a lost child growing up because I was the only child. I never had siblings. I never had friends.
So you were adopted and was the only child?
I was adopted. I was the only child.
How old were you when you were adopted?
I want to say 4 months.
Okay.
I was basically a baby.
Right. You're right.
And
So that was a blessing to be adopted so quickly.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
But
And you were adopted in Charlotte.
Adopted in Charlotte.
How old are you?
I'm 27.
Okay, young, very young.
Yeah. What else did you want to know?
Yeah, so basically you were adopted. So how was your childhood growing up, being the only child, but you were adopted? Like, did you have a hard time?
I grew up with a learning disability in school.
What kind?
I was a little bit slow. I didn't catch on as others in the classroom. I was bad at math.
Were you born with the drugs in your system or anything?
I was.
Okay, what kind of drugs they said you were born with?
Marijuana, cocaine, and heroin.
Oh, wow.
As a baby. And I started doing, my addiction started when I was 15.
Okay, so let's back up. So how were your parents? Were they kind to you and everything?
They were
your adopted
strict.
parents.
Mom, well, she's the only mother. She's never been married or anything like that.
Oh, so it was a single mom. Okay.
Single mom,
okay.
raising a single,
Right.
But my childhood was okay. She was she was always overseas, so it's hard to even.
So who kept you?
Her. My grandma kept me.
Okay, gotcha.
And my family lives in Durham, North Carolina, so my mom would travel back and forth to Durham to drop me off, and she had every two weeks, every other weekend.
Okay.
She would have like military weekend where she has to go and do what she has to do, and then she'll come back next weekend and come get me and see me.
Okay.
But there was not days where, like, if I had an issue or if I needed help or if I was going through that, I couldn't pick up the phone and talk to her. She was always there when I really needed help and guidance.
Okay. So how were your teenage years? So what happened? Like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Thank you. What happened was.
What happened was I went to school at a performing arts school called Oasis Performing Arts School.
Okay. And where is this? In Durham?
This is in Charlotte, North Carolina, on West Boulevard.
Okay.
This school contains academics, but it also contains a lot of, music, acting, instruments,
Okay.
bringing out your
inner talent,
the talent that you thought you would never, explore, that you never thought you had, but you have.
Okay.
And that's where my little career started was with music. I write music, I write poetry, I do poems.
Okay.
I draw, I play clarinet, piano.
I
rap,
do you have a poem or something you want to share real quick? What's your story? As Pharmacist Tish would love to know. Contact me at the email below, and I would love to hear about it. Look forward to hearing from you.
I don't.
You don't? Not okay. We can come back
today.
to it. Yeah, okay. We'll get you another day. No problem.
But
so you say you started using drugs at 15?
I started using drugs at 15 because my ex was murdered in front of me on the South Triangle.
Oh, hold up. Back up. Okay, so you were 15 years old. How old was your boyfriend?
My boyfriend was 20.
He was 20. Well, first of all, why you doing? What's going on with a 20-year-old man?
I don't know. For some reason, I like older men.
And your grandma was fine with it?
My grandma was. He met my grandma. We would hang out and everything. And my whole family knew him.
Okay, all right.
We all were close, and it kind of broke all of our hearts, but it broke mine more.
Right, because that was
like I lost our best friend. You know what
So why was he murdered?
I mean? He was murdered because I don't want to say it on the video, but
Gotcha.
he was murdered. It was a personal shit that he needed to deal with that he kept running away from, and eventually it caught up to him, and he caught slipping, and it happened.
And you could have got caught up in that
I
too.
could have got hurt myself.
Right.
But I just thank God that God was watching his angels. He was protecting me through this whole process of even being with him.
And this happened right in front of you.
Right in front of me.
So can you take me back to that moment? So y'all just walking down, you say on South Tryon or North Tryon?
South Tryon. We were, okay, so he lives across from my mom's development.
Okay.
Across the street and the other side of the development. And we were walking to the gas station one night. Me and my homegirls and him and me, we all went to go to Bojangles to go get something to eat.
Okay.
He was like, okay, y'all, I'm gonna go next door to the gas station to go get some drinks and stuff for us and some snacks for us to take back to the house.
Right.
All of us just sitting down quietly, you know, eating our food, our chicken, our Bojangles fries, or whatever.
Yeah.
Talking and having a conversation. And out of nowhere, I hear, bah, 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 bah. So I run to the gas station.
So you just knew it was him?
I go in the gas station. Blood, him on the floor, blood everywhere. I'm on my knees holding his head, telling the people to call 911. They looking crazy, just looking at him and looking at me. I'm like, I need help. Help me, help me, help me.
Right.
And at that moment, mentally and emotionally and physically, the only way I was able to cope with that pain was to turn it to drugs.
What kind of drugs and alcohol? What kind of drugs?
Crack. Alcohol was my major use.
Yeah.
Crack. Alcohol got me into treatments. I had a year of sobriety one time, and the program was happy. And
Yeah.
place, I did what I did, and then I got in a relationship with someone that I didn't know that was very toxic, and that was using drugs.
Oh, okay.
And I took 3 feet back instead of trying to, you know, be strong and go 2 feet forward.
Yeah.
And I don't know. It's just I've been through a lot.
Yeah.
You know, and
So you were in a domestic violence situation,
I've been
baby?
in domestic violence relationships. I've been abused, emotionally, physically, and mentally.
Yeah.
It's just it's just sometimes okay. So when some of the situations when you go through things, I'm just gonna say this as advice for anyone out there: if you're going through things, don't give up.
Don't give up.
Don't give up. Push 10 times harder.
Right.
Because everybody out here has been through something.
Yes.
Everybody out here has been through some type of trauma.
Right.
But it's the faith and the strength that we all have as a family out here that keeps us pushing and going to want to live and survive out here.
Right, baby.
Because there's better days yet to come. You know,
Right.
and it's just I talk to my higher power, and he's just keeping me strong, you know. I have a 2-year-old daughter.
Oh, wow, okay.
Her name's Nevaeh.
Mm-hmm.
And everything I've been through, she has seen as a child.
Okay.
She knows when I'm upset, she can feel that.
Yeah.
And I hated that I had to do what I had to do to give my rights over to my mom.
Yeah.
But I knew for me, I was doing the right thing for her.
So you had to give your rights. Why did you have to give your rights
Not
over?
my rights, I can get them back at any time.
Right.
I have to get my life together. You know what I mean?
Right. So are you homeless right now?
I'm homeless right now.
How long? This is like probably my second time seeing you around.
Yeah.
The first. So how long you been homeless for?
I've been homeless for I'm gonna say 3 months now.
3 months. And what got you to a point of being homeless?
I had an apartment.
Yeah.
I let people come in. They sabotaged my apartment.
They sabotaged your apartment.
They made it a mess. I ran out of money. Trying to help everybody else.
Were you working at the time?
I was working.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing about me is I help everybody else to get up for myself.
You're right. You were so loving and giving that you didn't love and give to yourself first.
And I ended up back out here.
So your loving heart kind of got
me in this predicament again. But it's my faith in God and my spirituality that keeps me going day by day, not wanting to give up on my daughter and my family.
Right. So everything you do
Believing in
now.
myself and loving myself for once in a while, you know, and being selfish on a daily basis when I have to.
Right.
It's really, out of fact, it's really about Destiny right now. Focusing on Destiny, trying to get Destiny out the streets, trying to get
Right.
Destiny an apartment, trying to do better for Destiny. And I'm about to sign up for school again.
Oh, really? So, oh, what kind of school?
I graduated, so I'm going to go back and catch up on my credits.
So you graduated from high school.
I graduated from
Good.
I'm getting ready. I want to go finish my credits so I can graduate. Hopefully, not this year, but next year at CP, Early Child Education.
Oh, child education. Okay, that's awesome.
Yeah, I like kids.
Uh-huh.
I love them dearly, and I want to start my own daycare.
Okay.
I also want to help. I like kids, but I also like teenagers because I feel like my story can help someone save somebody else's life.
Definitely.
And I also help the kids, like toddlers. I love them because they're just so sweet and smart when they're a baby, you know.
Right.
And they know their emotions are more stronger. They can feel things.
Right. They're more
Yeah.
into sensing things.
Yeah.
Good. So have you you know, how is your mom and dad, like the ones that birthed you to this world? Have you talked to them or anything?
I've never met them. I've never my adoption case. My adoption case is closed. It cannot be open.
Okay, gotcha.
So I've come to an agreement, a closure that it is okay that I don't know them.
So was that hard on you to not know who how old were you when you found out you were adopted?
I can't remember how old I was, and I don't want to say the wrong age either.
Right.
But when my mother my adopted mom did tell me, I think I had some type of anger and remorse.
Really? Yeah.
Because I felt abandoned. I felt like no one cared. I felt that no one loved me. I wasn't accepted. I was just different from everybody else, and everybody just didn't like me. You know, basically felt like people. I was bullied my whole entire life. You know.
So even though someone adopted you quickly, you still felt abandoned that you were in a situation of being adopted in the first place.
Yeah.
Where a lot of people feel that. So that's like a trauma by itself.
Yeah.
And then people have a hard time overcoming it to move forward. So what was the hardest thing you said you ever gone through? Was it your boyfriend at 15 years old?
The hardest thing I've ever gone through was dealing with all the trauma I've been through.
Yeah.
Actually sitting, if it was up to me, I imagine just sitting in an empty room in a chair and just dealing with it. Like sitting there dealing with it, just letting it all out. That was the hardest thing for me to deal with. Yeah.
So you actually did that, you're saying?
I've done that. Yeah.
And what is that again now? You do what?
Basically it's I don't know, it's I go to trauma.
Okay.
Like therapy.
You go therapy. Okay.
Trauma. So
That's great. Okay.
I've been actually talking about my trauma to my therapist about what are ways that I could cope with it, what are ways that I could deal with it instead of reacting out of anger or having these like anger episodes, you know what I mean?
Right.
And there's a lot of things I could do, like now I listen to music if I have like a flashback of trauma, or
Okay.
I'll talk to a friend over the phone.
What's the trauma that you flash back to?
Most of my traumas are my sexual traumas.
Like what?
Being molested and raped. And
Oh, okay. So
Yeah.
who molested and raped you?
okay, so my ex in prison, he raped me,
Mm.
and my mom's ex-boyfriend from college and the military, he fucking molested me.
How old were you when that happened?
When the molestation happened, I was like 8.
Wow. By whom? Your mom's boyfriend.
Ex-boyfriend, yeah.
Ex-boyfriend. Wow.
And then the rape, I was 20, but I'm 27 now.
So with being 8 years old, did you tell your mom, or that's something you kept a secret?
I've never told her.
Really? How long did he keep doing that to you?
They did that for about, I think about 2 months.
And what made him stop?
Back to back. Because my mom kicked him out and she found out. I didn't tell her, she found out.
Right. How did she find it, you know?
They had a conversation.
And she just figured it out. Well, did she do? And she kicked him out. So she didn't keep him around. She didn't try to blame you. She didn't try to say it's your fault. You know, you need to watch how you talk, how you wear clothes.
No, she told me one time she already knew something was going on.
Okay.
And
so that was
that was the trigger point for her.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess she got fed up to the point where she was tired of seeing me hurting, and she was tired of some men hurting her own child.
Right, exactly.
So she said she told him he had to go, and if he didn't go, she was gonna call law enforcement and have him arrested.
Right, so he was never arrested or anything for
No,
it.
he left.
Right, but to this day here, that still causes a lot of trauma and pain for you to flashback to.
That's why I'm not in a relationship. I have a hard time trusting, you know what I mean?
Right, definitely.
And I don't know what a good relationship looks like until I'm able to love myself.
Exactly.
And I'm still learning to love myself. I'm still learning what I like to do and how I like to do things. Or I'm still learning morals and values of mine that I never thought I had, or I'm digging them up, you know what I mean?
Right.
Setting boundaries for myself, but setting boundaries with others
Right.
from a distance, you know?
And that's the main thing. You need to set boundaries for yourself and
Yeah.
love yourself first. And because you have a giving heart, you need to learn to give to yourself and then give to others. Otherwise, you get sucked dry.
Yeah.
You get sucked, and I think that's what you found out, like having an apartment and all it, laying drugs around. I mean, that's no good for you, and probably too, watch your friends too.
Yeah, watch who you surround
Yeah, you have a
yourself
daughter
with.
that you want them, you want to live a different type of lifestyle, so you need different type of people surrounding you. So, any last words or anything, hon?
That's it.
All right, well, I appreciate you so much, and I appreciate the message that you gave out. Okay, sweetheart?
You're welcome.
All right, take care.
Thank you.